Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about something that I've been thinking about for the past couple of days. And when I looked into the rankings in the IBF at 140 pounds, I was trying to put things together in terms of how will Subriel Matias's journey and route to his world title fight come? Like, what's the scenario on his journey to the title once again, the IBF strap? Well, as we all know, him and Gabriel Goyas Valenzuela is their fight is headed to purse bid February 4th. Um, Once that's done, and both fighters have officially signed their parts and all that good stuff, and we got a fight. And not only a fight, but eventually we get the date and where the fight will take place. All that will fall into place. But before that even happens, I've been thinking about what may happen with Subriel Matias, especially if he defeats Gabriel Goyas, which is not no slouch. Goyas can fight. He got good power. He can box. He likes to mix it up. He's not in this. He's not in the IBF title eliminator for no reason. He's a good fighter. Not a world beater, not a great fighter, but a good fighter. Enough to give Subriel a good fight. He's in the eliminator for a reason, like I said. Now, here's how I see things with Subriel. And you may correct me if I'm wrong, and everyone has their opinions, but this is my opinion. In the rankings on BoxLive.com, the IBF from 1 to 15. Number 1 and number 2, they're vacant, which leaves Subriel number 3 and 4, which means the two best fighters in that weight class in the rankings is Subriel Matias and Gabriel Goyat. That's what they're fighting. Now, for instance, Subriel defeats Gabriel. What happens next? Subriel, Richards to Hitchens, first of all. I don't care what no one says. I mean, he's going to have to prove me wrong. Richards to Hitchens is not going to defend against Subriel Matias if Matias defeats Gabriel. He already said it in the past. As long as Subriel Matias is the IBF champion, I'm not going to fight him due to the rehydration clause and all that stuff and the danger that he possesses. Once he's not champion, I'm willing to take the chance to go the IBF route, like he did. Paro took the belt, he jumped on Paro, and he became champion. Subriel beating Gabriel, if he was to beat Gabriel, he will automatically become the mandatory for Richards and Hitchens. Now, the mandatory is not like your number one contender. Mandatory means, unlike contender, you have no choice but to fight that guy, the mandatory. Otherwise, the sanctioning, the organization strips you of your title for not defending against your mandatory. Richards and Hitchens is not going to defend against his mandatory in Subriel Matias once Subriel Matias defeats and ifs Gabriel Goyas. So guess what? Before Matias even gets in there with Hitchens, Hitchens is not going to be around. He's going to drop the belt. So guess what? Number 5 in the IBF rankings, you have George Kambosos, and you got Liam Paro at number 6. Now, like I said, 1 and 2 are vacant, which makes Subriel number 1 and number 2 for Gabriel, which makes number 3 George Kambosos and number 4 Liam Paro. I can't picture Subriel versus Cambosis. I mean, I don't think that fight's gonna happen. I just can't see that. Calling George Cambosis a coward. He's no coward. I just, for some reason, I don't know, prove me wrong again, but I just can't see George Cambosis fighting Subriel. So here's what I'm getting. This is where I'm going with this. So, for whatever reason, Cambosis doesn't fight Subriel. Who's next? Liam Paro. As we all know, who's Liam Paro? Liam Paro is the man that defeated Subriel Matias in Manatee, Puerto Rico, took the IBF title from him. Now, if Hitchens drops the belt, which most likely he will if Subriel defeats Gabriel, then you have a vacant title, a title hanging in the balance. So Subriel will be fighting for a vacant IBF title once again, like he did with Ponce. The only difference is it won't be Ponce across the ring. It will be most likely Lee Amparo. See that? See, now the rematch between Subriel Matias and Lee Amparo, the chances of it happening are pretty high when it comes to this. If you look at this, because if Subriel gets rid of Gabriel, beats him, all you have left is George Cambosis and Liam Power. George Cambosis, I don't think is going to end up fighting Subriel Matias for whatever the reason is. Liam Paro is your most likely option because Liam Paro is not going to duck the smoke. He's going to accept the fight because he already defeated Subriel, so he already has that in his mind, and that confidence is still there. That I beat you once, I can beat you again, and not only that, I have an opportunity to get back my title. But so does Subriel, who also he also has an opportunity to get back the title. He lost to Liam Paro, and not only that, get revenge on Liam Paro. So you take George Cambosis out of the equation. Because, like I said, in my opinion, I don't think Subriel versus Cambosis will happen. So that leaves Liam Paro, the next contender. And like how Matias says, title or no title, he will give Liam Paro a shot. He's very anxious to get in there with Paro once again to prove a point that your win over me was a fluke. So yeah, Richardson Hitchens, Matias beats Gabriel. Richardson Hitchens is not gonna fight Subriel, which I can see now Subriel fighting for the vacant IBF title once again against Liam Paro in a rematch for the vacant IBF title. I was looking at the ranking and I'm like, interesting, interesting. Because that's a fight that we all want to see, and we all want to see Subriel avenge that loss. So yeah, I could see Matias and Paro for the IBF title vacant once again. That makes sense. I'll be surprised if Matias and George Kambosos go at it. Because once Matias gets rid of Gabriel, if he gets rid of Gabriel, then you have Subriel Matias versus George Kambosos. If Hitchens, most likely he will, drops the belt. Again, unless we got a twist here and Richardson Hitchens says, screw it, I'm staying here and I'm gonna defend my IBF title and prove everyone wrong that I'm not scared of Subriel and I can beat him. Then that idea and thought goes up in smoke. But this is what I think. This is what I think. Richardson Hitchens is not gonna stick around and wait for Subriel to beat Gabriel and defend. He's not gonna fight him. So that leaves Hitchens dropping the belt and Subriel fighting for the vacant strap. And it's going to be against Liam Paro. I just can't see it against George Kambosos. I just can't. Again, expect the unexpected, and I'm here to be surprised. Subriel versus Kambosos is a good fight as well. Kambosos is a hell of a fighter, warrior, um, loves to fight. So that's going to be an action fight, man. Matias versus Kambosos. Let's see how Kambosos looks in his first fight at 140 in his debut in Matchroom. But I'm going with Liam Paro. Matias wants this rematch, and what better way to get it then with the IBF title on the line again, and a chance to avenge his loss, his second loss. He already avenged a first loss, and I'm sure, like how many of you guys know, Matias would love to avenge his second loss and show the world that I truly am the boogeyman at 140 pounds, and no one can beat me. So yeah, just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about that, man. That I've been thinking about it. I saw the rankings, and I'm like, Matias and Paro rematch, is an option. And after looking at the rankings, I can see it, marinating here. Like, okay, Hitchens drops the belt, Matias fights for it vacant, gets rid of Gabriel. You got Liam Paro standing right in front of him. Unless George Kambosos decides to fight him as well. I think George Kambosos is a fighter. I think he won't be scared to fight anyone, not even Subriel. So we'll see. I'll be surprised if George Kambosos backs down, and if he does, well, you got Liam Paro next. Yep. Let me know what you guys think about that, man, and about my scenario, my thought about this, what you guys think will happen. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Joseph Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.